Welcome to Norway Perspectives, brought to you by Norway Relocation Group. Today's episode is about something that is effectively invisible to many newcomers, an element of life here that operates silently in the background, until a missed message causes a major problem. We are talking about Norway's official digital mailbox system. You may have heard of services like Digipost or e-Boks. Perhaps your bank advisor mentioned something about setting up a digital postbox when you first opened your account. But for most people new to the country, these names remain abstract concepts, just another app to be ignored. This is a profound and costly mistake. Most newcomers fail to grasp just how essential these systems are to daily life until something important and often irreversible goes wrong. Let's be perfectly clear. Norway does not rely on paper letters for official communication. Once you are registered in the National Population Register and receive a national ID number, the government, along with a vast number of private companies, makes a critical assumption that all official and legally binding messages can be sent to you digitally. And if you don't activate your digital mailbox, or if you simply don't check it, the system considers those messages delivered anyway. The legal responsibility to receive the information has been met by the sender. The responsibility to read it is yours alone. This single misunderstanding can lead to a cascade of real-world consequences. You might miss a critical deadline from the Norwegian Tax Administration, resulting in penalties and an incorrect tax assessment. Forfeit a long-awaited doctor's appointment at a hospital, sending you to the back of a months-long waiting list. Unwittingly ignore a request for more information from the Directorate of Immigration or UDI, leading to the rejection of your residence permit application. Be charged significant late fees on bills you never knew you had, or even have your application for unemployment or parental leave benefits closed simply because you did not open and respond to a message in your digital post. In this episode, we will dissect this essential part of the Norwegian system. We'll cover what Digipost and e-Boks are, how they function, and how they differ from regular email. The wide range of critical letters that are sent exclusively through these digital channels. Why ignoring your digital mailbox is not a passive act, but one that leads to tangible negative outcomes. The legal principle of how public systems treat unread messages as officially and legally delivered. A step-by-step guide to managing your digital postbox correctly, especially when you change your phone, your bank ID, or your address. And finally, a damage control protocol for what to do if you realize you've already missed a critical message. Let's begin by understanding the foundation of this system. What is a digital postbox? And why does Norway use one? Norway was one of the first countries in the world to aggressively pursue the full digitization of its public communication systems. This initiative was driven by a desire for efficiency, high-level security, and environmental sustainability. In place of millions of paper letters, most government agencies and many private businesses now send all official correspondence through two secure, government-approved services: Digipost, which is run by Posten, the Norwegian Postal Service; e-Boks, a similar service that is also widely used in Denmark. It is vital to understand that these platforms are not email. They are highly secure, encrypted digital mailboxes that are legally equivalent to registered physical mail. Access to them is tied to your official electronic identity, most commonly Bank ID, which is the secure login solution used by all Norwegian banks. Your Bank ID is the master key to your entire digital life in Norway, from banking and taxes to healthcare and official correspondence. Once you are registered in the system, your chosen digital mailbox becomes your official mailing address for a huge array of critical organizations, including Skatteetaten, the Norwegian Tax Administration. Navi, the Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration, Helse Norge, the Public Healthcare Portal, UDI, the Directorate of Immigration, Politiet, the Norwegian Police Service, your local municipality for things like school placements and property taxes, and increasingly, private sector entities like banks, insurance companies, and even your power provider. The core principle you must internalize is this. Once a letter is sent to your Digipost or e-Boks, the government and the Norwegian legal system consider it received. It doesn't matter if you ever log in, if you have the app on your phone, or if you even remember activating it. The legal act of delivery is complete. What happens when you don't read your digital post? Detailed scenarios. Let's move beyond theory and look at what this means in practice. The tax scenario. The tax administration sends you a notification called a varsel to your digital mailbox, asking for clarification on a deduction you claimed in your tax return. You have 3 weeks to respond. You don't see it because you haven't logged in for months. After the deadline passes, the agency makes an automatic assessment based on the information they have, disallowing your deduction. A penalty tax is added for failing to provide correct information on time. You only discover this months later when your final tax settlement shows you owe a significant amount of money. Or when you notice your employer is withholding extra from your salary to cover the debt. The healthcare scenario. You've been on a hospital waiting list for 6 months to see a specialist. A letter arrives in your digital mailbox with an appointment time for the following month. The letter states clearly that you must confirm your attendance online and that failure to appear without 24 hours notice will result in a fee and removal from the waiting list. You miss the message entirely. You are marked as a no-show. Not only are you charged a fee, but your spot is given to someone else. Your referral is now void, and you must go back to your family doctor to start the entire process all over again, potentially losing another 6 months or more. The immigration scenario. You are waiting for a decision on your application for a skilled worker permit from the UDI. An officer reviewing your case needs a certified copy of your university diploma to finalize the decision. A request is sent to your digital mailbox with a firm deadline of 4 weeks. Because you haven't checked your inbox, you miss the request. From the UDI's perspective, you have failed to cooperate. The deadline passes, and your application is rejected on procedural grounds. You are now facing a logistical and emotional nightmare, possibly having to leave the country and reapply from scratch, all because of one unread digital message. These are not exaggerated horror stories. They are common occurrences that our relocation specialists handle every week. They all begin with a simple notification in a digital mailbox and the system's unwavering expectation that you are checking it. Digipost versus e-Boks. What's the difference? Both of these platforms serve the same legal function, but you generally only need to actively use one for your public correspondence. Digipost is by far the most commonly used system in Norway today and is the default choice for virtually all public authorities. If you are setting up your digital life here, this is the service you should focus on for messages concerning tax, police matters, immigration, healthcare, and your municipality. e-Boks has a strong presence in Denmark, and some people who move from there continue to use it. In Norway, it's now primarily used by some private companies for things like pension statements, insurance documents, loan offers, or credit notices. Our advice is simple. Set up Digipost as your primary mailbox for government communication. You can select your preferred provider in the settings of Altinn, which is the main government portal for submitting taxes and other forms. However, it is wise to download the apps for both services and check them periodically, just in case a private company you deal with uses e-Boks. How to set up and maintain your digital postbox. a step-by-step guide. To use these services, you must first have the foundational elements of a digital identity in Norway. This happens in a specific sequence. You must have a Norwegian national ID number or a temporary D number. This number allows you to open a Norwegian bank account. The bank account allows you to get a bank ID. Only with an active bank ID can you then activate your digital mailbox. Once you have your bank ID, you can set up your digital post box. You may receive a physical letter with an activation code, or you can complete the process online. After it's activated, your work is not done. You must maintain it. Follow this checklist. Download the Digipost or e-Boks app onto your smartphone immediately. Enable push notifications so you get an alert every time a new letter arrives. Make it a habit to check your inbox at least once a week, just as you would with a physical mailbox. Ensure you have linked a current email address and mobile number for backup alerts. Crucially, check that the name on your digital mailbox account exactly matches your legally registered name. Any discrepancy can cause automated deliveries to fail. And most importantly, you must update your settings whenever your life changes. If you get a new phone, change your mobile number, or change your name after marriage, you must immediately update your details in your digital postbox settings to ensure you remain connected and receive your mail. What kind of messages arrive in your digital mailbox? Some newcomers mistakenly assume these mailboxes are only for tax season. In reality, they are used for a constant flow of time-sensitive and important life administration. You will receive from the tax administration your tax return, your final tax assessment, demands for unpaid tax and property tax invoices. From NAVA, decisions on parental leave, sickness benefits, or unemployment applications. These letters contain strict deadlines for appeals. From the health service, referrals to specialists, hospital appointment times, and vaccination reminders for your children. From the Immigration Directorate, interview summons, requests for additional documents, and final decisions on your residence permit. From law enforcement and creditors, traffic fines, police notices, and official debt collection warnings. Many of these documents require you to take action by a specific date. If you fail to respond by the deadline, you often lose your right to appeal or will face escalating financial penalties. Can you turn off your digital mailbox? The myth of opting out. A common question we get is, can I just turn this off and get paper mail? The short answer is, not really. Once you are registered in the Norwegian system, government agencies are legally entitled and in fact encouraged to use digital mail as their primary channel. While a national registry exists that allows you to reserve yourself against digital communication from the public sector, the process can be cumbersome and it does not apply to private companies. Many banks, insurance firms, and utilities will still send you digital correspondence, or, if you insist on paper, will charge you a significant paper invoice fee for every letter they send. Attempting to fight this digital tide in Norway is a losing battle. It is far simpler, safer, and cheaper to embrace the system and learn to manage it effectively. What if you missed a critical message? A damage control protocol. If you log in after a long time and discover a backlog of unread, time-sensitive mail, don't panic. Take systematic action. Triage immediately. Go through all your unread messages. Note the sender, the date it was sent, and any deadlines mentioned in the document. Create a priority list based on the urgency of the deadlines. Contact the agency directly. For the most urgent matters, call the agency in question, be it the tax administration, NAV, or UDI. Explain the situation calmly and clearly. State that you're a newcomer and were not fully aware of how the system worked. Follow up in writing. After your phone call, always send a follow-up message through the agency's official online contact form. Summarize what was discussed on the phone. This creates a written record of your attempt to rectify the situation. Manage your expectations. While politeness and a prompt response can sometimes result in leniency, be aware that "I didn't see the message" is not a valid legal defense. If a statutory deadline has passed, the agency's ability to help you may be very limited. The goal is to mitigate further damage. It's always far better to stay up to date than to try and fix problems after the fact. Final thoughts. Digital mail is real mail in Norway. Your digital mailbox may seem like just another app on your phone, but in the context of Norwegian society, it is so much more. It is your official legal address. Ignoring it can cost you money, time, and in the worst-case scenarios, your legal status in the country. Once you are in the system, you are expected to behave like every other resident. You must log in, read your letters, respond on time, and take full responsibility for the information that is delivered to you. If you don't, the system keeps moving forward, and it assumes you're keeping up. At Norway Relocation Group, we specialize in helping newcomers set up and manage these critical systems, from bank ID to Digipost. We ensure that from the moment you arrive, you understand how to handle everything from tax messages to immigration letters, so you never miss what matters. And at our sister company, NLS Norwegian Language School, we help you understand the specific language used in these official letters. We teach you how to decipher deadlines, understand requests, and respond with confidence and clarity. Visit us at norwayrelocation.no for expert support with Norway's digital systems and learn the practical, real-world Norwegian you need to manage your life at nlsnorwegian.no. Thank you for listening to Norway Perspectives. Subscribe and share this episode with anyone navigating their new digital life in Norway before they miss a message they can't afford to ignore.